You are held in the embrace of the Elohim, Peace and Aloha. Our service to God in life is to bring forth the impetus of the fires of the heart that will allow for the outpouring of all that is required to serve God in life, to establish momentum and attainment within the sons and daughters of God, and ultimately the elemental forces of nature that will appropriate all that is good, all that is nourishing, all that is beautiful, and hold it in that pristine, inviolate perfection of God, so that all of life might revel and enjoy the fullness of all that God has prepared in the earth, the water, the fire, air, akasha. All are intended to have that pristine radiance of the glorious charge of light that streams forth from the heart of God. So often, mankind has lost sight of how to maintain that glorious achievement of God as a way of life. They gravitate to lesser states of consciousness that are easier to adopt as a way of life because of the lack of light stored within their body temple. Our service to you as the Elohim of the Sixth Ray is to serve your flame, your body temple, in its pristine Edenic blueprint, held within the consciousness of your mighty I Am presence, so that you radiate the light, the beauty, the joy of the presence of God. Then, blessed ones, you have all that you require to engage in the service to God in life, for it becomes the joy of life. It becomes the source of all that you require, so that you are in that constant state of flow, of giving of your own heart flame. The peace that you require to accomplish this is great indeed. If you were to go to the depths of the ocean, you would find that it was imperceptible of sound and movement. But all the while there would be great currents moving, and perhaps swiftly carrying elements of the seas, long distances in short order. This, blessed ones, is the deep peace that you are required to maintain in your life, all the while you are about the fullness of life, exercising all of the faculties of God as the rays of your God presence stream forth holy purpose and divine intent for you to carry out, for you to create, for you to serve God. This is what we, the Elohim, of ministration and service, of the purple and gold ray of God's consciousness, perform for you. We serve your flame. In the fullness of the ruby fire, and all of the rays of the golden elixir of wisdom, so that you will have all that you require to knit together the preceding rays of the Elohim that have been woven into the shield of Elohim for you. You will protect it by our flame. You will transmute by your active participation in the service to God in life. Your ability to stay in the constant flow of the rays of God consciousness. For it is in active service that you draw forth more of the God qualities of your own God presence, of the mighty Elohim, of the heart of God in the great central sun. If with all the talent and wealth of light and momentum proffered to you, you were to sit on the sidelines and do nothing, jealously guarding it, holding it to your breast, do you suppose you would be given any more? That you would be rewarded for jealously guarding it? When you were called to guard well your consciousness, it is so that you do not squander it, but you must use it wisely, and use it you must, so that there is always the continual flow of the rays of God consciousness, refreshing, renewing life within you, resurrecting life within you. This is the divine course of life. Even the earth itself goes through annual resurrection, just as you and your physical body must go through a resurrection. The fires of God that pour forth in the ruby fire, in the more intense of the love of God, on the instant will annihilate that which is not in keeping with God. As the intensity lessens, it is a more gentle action that allows for the correction of life, the healing of life to occur. And as the light of wisdom's ray guides the healing current of the purple oils of the heart and blood of God into the service that you render, you are most aware of the comfort, the love, the wisdom and illumination that is extended, and how it is because of your attainment that this has come to the fore in the peace and harmony that have allowed you to enter into the river of life of God's holy kingdom and serve it so magnificently. Elohim, conduct the current of the rivers of life to serve your life stream, so that you might have all that you require to move through your destiny. And that destiny, blessed ones, is not one that takes for granted the gifts that are given, but it works mightily, striving long, continuously, throughout the entirety of a lifetime, to bring about the good works that are brought to bear upon the heart by the mighty I Am Presence, that are desired by the heart of the Presence, loved into action by the love of God. And as the purple flame of God becomes more intense into the ruby fire, guided by the wisdom of God, there is a final direction for the life stream, guiding them directly into the ascension in the light. But it takes great work, great service to God. When you engage in the Holy Communion with your mighty I Am Presence, there is a quiescent state that occurs where the outpour of God's love is so great you wish not to move. But in due time, you realize there is a flow to that bliss, and the current begins to pick up and move your body temple, your mind, your emotions, and establish within you an activity that cannot be denied. And that activity, blessed ones, is the flow of light, desiring to serve God, to create, to fashion, to form, to bless every part of life. And when the light of the Christic fire pours forth as emerald ray, there is holy purpose to the estate that you have established in this peace and divine love of God. In our retreat, those who come require a period of adjustment in order to enter into the holy chamber where our altar and focus of light is established. This requirement is necessary to instill a deeper harmony of God love. For absent that harmony, there cannot be the sealing of those spiritual centers in the golden elixir of wisdom's ray, so that the blessing that pours forth, intended to serve God in life, would be misused if not for the flame of wisdom and the peace that conveys great power, draws upon the previous 5 rays of God consciousness that you have received from the mighty Elohim to bring about that service. When you understand the power of the will of God and the blue flame action of the first ray, the power of the action and love of God streaming forth, the power of the purity of God that it demands, and the glorious emerald ray drawing forth from out the heart of God all of the elements required to manifest creation. You can begin to see, blessed ones, how when you enter into the service of the sixth ray, it requires great attainment on all of the 5 rays. Hence, the shield of Elohim, whereby you have a point, a node of expression of the Elohim that you can draw forth, the assistance, the renewing of your inner communion with each of the Elohim, so that when you are called, and called you are, to the service of God in life, you will have before you, behind you, above and below, right within, the Elohim, that connection that heretofore you have known was upon the forehead. But now, as the shield is developed, nourished, internalized, and put into use in your life, you realize that you have a greater bond with the Elohim than heretofore. This dispensation is so that you will be the protector, the guardian of the truth, that you will be the lover of God, the purity of life, the Christic fire of the emerald matrix, and the servant of God, to God in life. And that blessed ones sets in motion for you the opportunity to draw to the fore your divine plan in life. For your presence has a blueprint for you, has desires, dreams, if you will. You know what it is like to have a dream and to want that dream to come into fruition. Your presence has a dream for your life stream. Oh, surely it is the ultimate goal of the ascension in the light. But before that ascension, each incarnation has had a prescription written for that life by the mighty I Am Presence. Many times, the Presence has had to alter what it desired you to accomplish because of returning karma that you were required to balance in that given lifetime. Many times there have been whole embodiments devoted to the balancing of your karma and never getting to the fulfillment or even the first step of your divine plan. But it is not lost or wasted. It is still there in the recesses of the flame of God, abiding upon the altar of your heart. It is waiting. And at any moment of any day, when your karma is balanced by the invocation of the violet flame, by the balancing of that karma through your active service to God in life, you have the ability to begin the next step and the next and the next in gaining the talents, the mastery, and the attainment that you require, so that the God within can step forth and serve God in life. You see, blessed ones, God is not engaged in desiring to multiply the allness of God for the sake of God. It is so that there can be the multiplication of the individualizations of God, held in that high estate of the perfection of God. And the glory that is God is the glory that is every I Am Presence. That same glory that resides upon the altar of your heart. And that glory, blessed ones, is because there is purity. There is divine will. There is illumination. There is love. There is the emerald ray in its Christic fire. And there is a heart that desires to be in service. That, blessed ones, is how you distill the precious oils of the fire of God into a glorious way of life. The perfumed fragrance, the harmonious flow, the rarefied atmosphere, all because they are charged with the deep peace and vibration of the holiness of the perfection of God. As you draw forth from our ray the momentum of the purple and gold essence of God, let it fill your chalice and draw unto you the 5 preceding rays of Elohim to prepare you for your service to the world, to your country, to your family, to your God. And in doing so, blessed ones, the reward will be greater opportunity to draw forth more of our ray, more of our light, so that greater service may be provided to God. And when you ascend, you will understand how the rays of your God presence streaming forth in the full array of the glory of God scintillates to and fro, constantly moving, constantly in service, constantly giving of that which it has received from out the great central sun, and blessing all of life. You begin where you are. You are incarnate, but you have a flame of God burning brightly upon the altar of your heart. You have a mighty I Am presence that you can call forth daily, and you have a shield of Elohim ready to assist you at every turn. And with that shield, blessed ones, you can be a golden age of one, and then the golden age of many, and ultimately the golden age for the earth. And that is the goal. For when that is reached, the fullness of our service will be rewarded in the blessing of seeing the many sons and many daughters of God fully vested in their holy Christ presence, fully activating the records of their own causal body, and establishing a way of life that is not seen by the masses even now, but only the few. Perhaps you have caught a glimpse through the imagery that we could impart to you. Perhaps you have felt the charge of light coursing through you, stirring your emotions, elevating the very charge of your own physical body. That, blessed ones, is the beginning process of internalizing the physical light, the emotional, mental, memory light. For those pranic breaths become so filled with the light of God that they no longer act as though they were just elemental substance. But that elemental substance is responsive to your heart flame, It fashions and forms your life in accordance to the directive of your heart flame. So when you take on the mastery of the sixth ray, not only are you establishing more of the activity that your own vehicles of consciousness require while you are in embodiment, but you are radiating that attainment out to touch all of life as far as the magnitude of your momentum will carry it. As your momentum grows, as it expands, as you call forth more of the ascended and cosmic beings, as you open the channels wide to the mighty Elohim and allow for the shield of Elohim to resonate, you begin to see how the reverberation of the many affect all. And it is glorious to behold. And that deep peace that has abided throughout the entire cycle becomes an imperceptible power of God that moves mountains literally. So, blessed hearts, take up the work of the light of God. Put on the vestments of the purple and gold in the shield of Elohim and establish a momentum of activity that allows for your service to God in life to make a difference. I am the Elohim Peace and my beloved Aloha. Stand with me as we convey the light and momentum of the power of God through our service to God in life, and the momentum to the fulfillment of the rays of God consciousness in whole and complete life, held in the truth of cosmic law. You blessed ones will receive this charge, this momentum, according to your attainment at present. Should you choose to revisit this address at some future time, to receive the blessing once more, when you feel you have honed your talents in the 5 rays of Elohim that precede our ray, you are most welcome. For that indeed stands as a blessing of the dispensation of the shield of Elohim for all of the 12 mighty Elohim and their divine complements. Do not feel that if you do not rise to the level at this moment to receive the full momentum in your outer vehicles, certainly your mighty I Am presence is holding that momentum for you, and it will be available to you increment by increment to dispense as your heart flame aligns with the spiritual centers of your being and is prepared to receive a greater momentum of this ray. It is not for the weak or the meek, but for those who have the steadfastness of the solar winds and the staff of God power that you may lean upon. Let the light stream forth. Let the peace, the harmony, the love for God be fulfilled as wisdom's ray guides each one's heart and service to God in life by the golden helicon into the golden age.